Hello, and welcome to the Virtual Entrepreneurship Center project, which is a collaborative between Alabama A&M University, Auburn University, and Tuskegee University. My name is Dr. Keenan Grinnell, CEO of Global Capital Group out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Today, I have as my special guest Dr. Patricia Robertson with Southern University of New Orleans. She's going to engage us in a dialogue regarding exposing youth entrepreneurs to the world of finance. Thank you so much and welcome to the VEC project.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, very good. So, before we begin, I sort of heard a little earlier your presentation, very intrigued by what you were sharing with us. So, if you don't mind, tell us a little something about yourself, and then, if you don't mind, kind of segue just a little bit in terms of giving us a quick executive summary of what that presentation was all about. Because I think, even though we're talking about a totally different subject matter here, what you shared earlier with a larger audience was just fascinating.
Okay, great.
Okay,
well, as he said, my name is Patricia Robinson. I'm from New Orleans, of course, and pretty much grew up in New Orleans. And I think my interest I began to see a need for, especially in the financial area. There were a lot of people that I came in contact with that didn't have a lot of preparation as far as entering into the world of just making it. And I think my interest came probably back in the 90s. I had worked for the government, for the U.S. Department of Agriculture for 17 years, and I was working in accounting, but I didn't feel like I was fulfilling what God had called me to do. So I resigned there, left, and I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And so just began to work with my church full time and just begin to build projects in the community. And there was such a great need. We had people, in New Orleans, the killing rate, the murder rate was really, really high. So people were dying, no insurance, nothing in place. So I began to pursue that arena. I went into insurance, got my insurance license, got my investment licenses, and I began to expose this particular arena to our community. So I started with, New Orleans East, we began to venture out, and now we are probably in 5 different states, and we're, just really reaching out to people to make sure that they are financially ready for the things that's going to come into this, to their lives. And so going to what we talked about today on unemployment, that was such a biggie for me because it's a real issue. And it's an issue that there has to be something put in place for people because we see what's happening. The economy is, we're just in that time where the economy is not stable, is not really producing what we need. So we have to have something in place to actually deal with this problem. So that presentation to me was really heart-touching, and working with Dr. Amity just gave me more insight on globalism because I wasn't familiar with the national, international versions, but it really kind of pulled me in and helped me to see it from a different level and a different angle.
with your vast range of knowledge and expertise, again, accounting, finance, commercial lending, why youth entrepreneurship out of all of the areas that you could have a passion for? So why youth entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship takes it to a whole nother level. Sometimes you wonder why you're put here, but I promise you, as I was working in the arena of corporate America, I've done a lot. I've worked for, like I said, government for 17 years. I worked with state government doing budgeting and different things like that. I worked for H&R Block doing taxes, and as I began to see the structure of how I could help my people, my community, it kind of pushed me into entrepreneurship. And I don't think I would have it any other way. And the only reason that I teach is because it gives me the flexibility to actually pursue the entrepreneurship part of what I do.
Okay, so connected with the young people. So how do you really connect those 3 buckets that you talked about, accounting, finance, and commercial lending with young people?
Okay, young people is really my target because it has to start with them. So what I do basically with my company is called Appointed Financial Group, and what we do.
It's called what now?
Appointed Financial Group.
Appointed Financial Group.
Appointed Financial
I
Group.
like that.
We were appointed for such a time as this.
Ah, okay. You must have known that was my next question. You know, I'm that kind of curious, inquisitive guy. That was my next question, and you beat me to the punch. Good.
Well, great. And what we do, we actually have seminars, we have training for young people. And we, of course, we have a physical office, but we do a lot of training, even online also. And so what we do, we may have maybe once a quarter where we bring the young people together and we train them on different areas and different arenas in the financial industry.
Okay. What have been some of the challenges that you've encountered as you share this knowledge, with would-be and youth entrepreneurs? What kind of challenges have you come across in terms of what you know and how you know it? Because we are talking about young, youthful, energetic individuals, and they have a lot of different things that take up their space, their attention.
Mm-hmm.
How do you what kind of challenges have you had to try to bring the old hard knocks basics of accounting and finance, and now you overlay it with a little commercial lending expertise to the psyche of these young people?
I think the biggest challenge has been with leaderships that can help and have not been willing to help. And not so much that they're not willing, sometimes just don't have time. I've gone to churches, I've gone to businesses, different organizations, and a lot of time they will say that they will do certain things, but when it comes down to actually putting it together, it has not happened. So you have to have manpower, as they were talking about. You have to have the manpower to, because you can't do it by yourself. So finding the right manpower, finding people that have the same mind or the mindset to really help. That has been kind of a challenge, but I think we're progressing in that. Also, finances, of course, is always a challenge because you have to have enough capital when you're starting out to, especially if you're trying to put programs together, you have to have enough capital. So, and again, God has helped us even in that arena.
I used to think that I could be prepared for an interview and I could just lay out my questions in advance, but then I run into someone like you that makes me have to rethink and reorder how the questions that I'm asking. So I'm gonna veer off the beaten path. Based on what you just said, what's the ideal dream team to develop a youth entrepreneurship program with a financial education emphasis tied to it? What's that dream team?
Ooh, wow, let's see. That's good. Definitely, let's see, you have to have, I would think somebody youthful that can relate to the youth. So having somebody that can actually, and I think we do have that to a certain extent, but again, like you said, finances is not a problem, then I think that problem is solved because we do have young, aspiring youth among us that really would love to minister or, I said minister, mentor
It's okay.
the youth. And so someone that's really good in administration. I'm not a good administration person. I'm the type of person that I just do. If I know what needs to be done, I'm going to do it. But the paperwork, the administration, and keeping things in order.
So someone that doesn't mind playing the bureaucratic role. Okay.
Exactly.
I got you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then of course someone that can actually go out on the field and kind of bring the youth in.
So someone that has passion and talent and energy. In other words, you can't have a successful youth entrepreneurship team without somebody that's got some life in them,
Exactly.
some blood running through their veins. Okay,
Exactly.
I like. And then you got to have that person that's going to cross the T's and dot the I's.
Exactly.
And then that person that is a magnificent outreach person.
Exactly.
Okay. Thinking of the outreach person, what kind of role are you looking for them to play? On this dream team, what's their role responsibility going to be? Because that's really now going out bringing the sheep in.
Exactly.
And, you know, bringing them into the fold to really expose them to the dynamics of you know, the resources that you have.
Mhm.
So what is this outreach person, you know, charged with doing?
Okay, first of all, they have to have knowledge of what they're gonna be going out there to present.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also have to have a kind of a niche for talking to young people.
Mhm.
They have to know how to talk to young people, because today young people are on a totally different level
Mm-hmm.
than when I was young. So you have to know how to reach them where they are.
Understood.
I think those would be the two main things, just having knowledge, because you can't go out there not knowing what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then being able to reach them on a level that they're on.
The type of youth entrepreneurship program that you're connected with, I got to believe that there are others in the New Orleans area. Who's your competition, and what do you sort of admire about what they're bringing to the table?
Whoa. In New Orleans, I think, let's see, because we cater to the youth. I'm trying to think of our competition. Who would be our competition?
Or even on the national level, that if you know, if you sort of see what you're doing, maybe not having competition because of the financial emphasis that you that you use in terms of programmatic, you know, focus. You know, maybe there's a group on the national level that you might be a little bit more attuned.
Well, going back to Logue, I think there is, because when you look at activities such as NORD,
Mhm.
things that NORD provide,
Mhm.
and they basically cater to the youth, and they have a lot of infrastructure. That
And
can
NORD
actually-
is the
that's the New Orleans Recreation
okay.
Department.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
they really cater to a lot of youth activities, so they're able to provide things that can draw the youth to them.
Okay.
So we so that would be something that if we had, you know, that the same type of structure, we would be able to draw more people to us.
And we're going to stop there, and we're going to come back pretty shortly with a continuing dialogue with Dr. Patricia Robertson. Take care.